I stumbled on the biggest privacy jackpot in crypto, and somehow it might just rain on everyone who thought that they were left out. Now, imagine waking up to find your dusty old wallet suddenly crammed with not one but two brand new tokens that you never bought, on a chain that you, well, barely use. It's wild, right? Well, keep that picture in your head, because today we're going to be diving into the Midnight Glacier drop, the airdrop that's set to pour night and dust tokens over 37 million wallets across 8 mega blockchains. Even if you've never really touched Cardano in your life, and yes, I'm talking Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, BNB, Avalanche, and Polygon, the whole gang. So stick around, because I'm about to tell you why Charles Hoskinson's latest move feels like Willy Wonka crashing a crypto conference, tossing golden tickets at everyone except the rich kids in the front row. Alright, so quick roadmap so you know how exactly kind of where we're actually heading, right? First, how a single tweet and a heavy sigh from Cardano's founder set rumors on fire. Then, why holders of every major coin suddenly qualify for freebies. Next, the real purpose behind Midnight's sidechain, privacy wizardry if you will, and finally, why this drop could actually reshape the way that blockchains cooperate long after 2025. Somewhere in there, I'll let you know how to jump into our free crypto Discord server. There's a link in the description down below, because that is kind of where we dissect moves like this before the rest of YouTube even notices. And hey, while you're kind of scrolling, grab that Blowfin exchange link too, because they're actually handing out some pretty tasty sign-up perks, and you're going to want to have an account ready when these tokens finally hit the markets. Okay, so let me set the scene then, right? It's a lazy Saturday afternoon scroll fest, and I'm doom thumbing through crypto Twitter. Then suddenly a tweet pops up claiming that Cardano's native token holders, think tokens like SNEC and Hosky, aren't getting the Midnight airdrop. My brain does a double take. Wait, the sidechain built by Cardano is skipping Cardano's very own community. Now, before I can even reach for the popcorn, Charles Hoskinson himself tweets the rumor, right? Sitting there kind of in selfie mode, if you will, exhaling kind of the deepest soul-crushing sigh that you've ever heard. No words, just a dramatic sigh. Now you could almost hear him whisper, "Here we go again." Instantly, my DMs blow up. Friends are asking me whether they should dump their meme coin bags, and Telegram chats are spiraling into sell the rumor hysteria. And I'm just sitting there, coffee in hand, replaying that sigh like a GIF, because if there's one thing that I know about Charles, it's that he doesn't waste theatrics on nothing. Now that sigh screamed, "Folks, calm down, it's bigger than you think." And sure enough, hours later, Rami from the SNEC meme coin crew jumps in saying ADA holders and native token holders should chill, right? They're just as entitled as everyone else. Meanwhile, of course, buried in earlier conference kind of footage from Consensus Toronto, Hoskinson had already spilled the beans. Bitcoiners, Ethereum holders, XRPL loyalists, Solana degens, and even Binance chain farmers are on the guest list. Venture capitalists, though? Hard no. Now, his words are that this one's for the retail crowd, the people who actually use the technology. Now, pause for just a second, right? Why would he hand out tokens to holders on competing chains? Aren't blockchains usually out to kind of steal each other's kind of lunch money? And that's actually where Midnight's master plan really comes in. Right, think of Cardano's new sidechain as a massive privacy-first layer that can talk to every neighborhood on the blockchain block. Right, it's kind of like giving every chain a passport-stamped visa free to the Cardano land. Now, with Midnight, devs can build privacy-enabled dApps, pay fees in their own native coins, ETH, Bitcoin, ADA, whatever, and validators across all chains can earn cross-network rewards. So this airdrop is not charity. It's actually an invitation. Right, Midnight's team is dangling 2 tokens. You've got Knight. This is your governance token. This is how you'll vote on proposals, protocol upgrades, maybe even how fees get split between chains down the road. So think of it as your seat at the council table. Then you've got Dust, the non-transferable but crucial, token. It's the lubricant for every private transaction happening inside Midnight's environment. You spend it, it vanishes, no trace. Perfect for shielding sensitive business data without going full dark web villain. So together, Night and Dusk form a clever yin-yang. You steer the ship with Night and power the engine with Dust. And here's the kicker, because Dust can't be traded, there's zero speculative frenzy around it. It purely exists to get stuff done. Night, on the other hand, will almost certainly hit exchanges, maybe even blow fin first if they're smart. So having an account ready isn't just shill talk, it's basically being prepared. So picture the logistics: 37 million wallets, 8 blockchains, 2 token each, right? Now that's at least 74 million token deliveries firing off in one coordinated Glacier drop. Some analysts already called it the largest, airdrop in crypto history, dwarfing Jupiter and the Starknet by a country mile. And because there's no exact date beyond some time in 2025, we're all living in kind of a permanent kind of suspense, right? Midnight's mainnet is slated for late 2025. So my money's on an autumn drop, just enough time for the hype engines to kind of roar all summer long. But here is where things get personal. Back in the ICO craze of 2017, I was that kid refreshing Etherscan, hoping airdropped tokens would magically appear. Most of them, of course, turned out to be hot garbage. Now, Midnight feels different, right? First, there's no VC, means no stealth dumps on day one. Second, the sheer cross-chain reach forces tribal communities to at least peek over the fence. So imagine a Bitcoin maxi finally downloading a Cardano wallet to claim tokens, and additionally or accidentally even noticing smart contracts aren't so scary after all. Now that's social engineering at its finest. Of course, any grand plan comes with hurdles. Privacy is still a 4-letter word for regulators, right? Midnight calls its kind of model rational privacy, striking a balance between confidentiality and compliance. Now they want enough to cover, at least to kind of protect personal data, I should say, but enough transparency to also keep governments off their backs. Skeptics ask whether that's even really possible. Supporters point to zero-knowledge tech evolving fast. My take: if Monero is the Wild West and Ethereum is Times Square, Midnight aims to be a gated community, right? Fences, guards, but open house invitations on Sundays. Another challenge: distribution fairness, right? Snapshotting wallets on multiple chains is pretty tricky. So how do you prove you're a genuine user and not a farmed out kind of, Sybil address then? Well, Hoskinson's team kind of claims they'll weigh on-chain activity, not just balances. That means that Dust attack addresses with 0 interactions may get, zilch, right? Now, it also means that devs of tiny community or Cardano projects who've kind of been grinding for years finally actually get recognition alongside blue chip ETH whales, right? Leveling the field world like that, well, I'm here for it. Okay, and let me toss in a real life anecdote then, right? Last month, a buddy of mine, massive XRP whale, teased me for still holding ADA. If, he's saying things like, enjoy your ghost chain, he said, right? Now, fast forward to this week, and he's actually, frantically texting me, bro, I need a Cardano wallet to claim Night. And the irony here is, well, delicious. Now, I'm, of course, not above telling him, hey, we're not, why not hop into our kind of free crypto Discord? There's a link, of course, in the description. And, the community will, of course, walk him through everything that he needs to know. Free alpha, free support, that's kind of what we do. And speaking of free alpha, Blowfin recently rolled out 0 maker fees on new listings. Now, if Night shows up there first, early liquidity is going to be a chef's kiss. So get that link that's in the description down below, sign up, and you'll be positioned before the masses swarm in. Now, let's zoom out, right? Why should anyone really care beyond the free money meme? Well, Hoskinson's endgame is to kind of crush that toxic maximalism. Right, he straight up said that crypto kind of Nash equilibrium needs to shift from this competitiveness to, well, cooperative. Right now, if Midnight succeeds, we could see cross-chain dApps where you stake ADA but earn yield in ETH or swap dust for BTC privacy payments and vote on governance proposals using Solana's Sol token. Right, you've had chilling there for years. It's an interoperability layer wrapped in a privacy blanket. There's two value propositions that kind of rarely coexist together. Naturally, of course, markets are speculating on ADA's price impact. Some analysts predict that hype could push ADA to $2 by the end of 2025. Personally, I'm less interested in price spikes and more in the network effect. Imagine if 10% of those 37 million wallets try a Cardano-based dApp for the first time. That's 3.7 million new users. Numbers that most chains would absolutely kill for. All of that potential kind of hinges on execution though, right? Midnight's testnet is live, but bridging 7 external chains seamlessly is like juggling flaming chainsaws on a unicycle. Now, one tiny kind of bridge exploit and trust plummets hard, right? The team knows this, which is why they're deliberately kind of slow rolling timelines here, right? Remember, 2025 isn't just tomorrow. In crypto years, it's an eternity, right? Now, enough time for auditors to kind of triple check code, for regulators to wrap their heads around the rational privacy, and for us to kind of stack snacks while we wait. But let's go ahead and circle back to the original rumor then, right? Cardano's native tokens allegedly being left out. Right, the saga shows how quickly FUD, that's fear, uncertainty, and doubt, can derail community morale. A single careless tweet, a misinterpreted AMA, and suddenly thousands of holders feel betrayed. Now, Hoskinson's sigh wasn't just frustration, it was a lesson in crypto telephone. Double check sources, look for primary statements, and breathe before panic selling your meme bags. Ironically, of course, the rumor amplified awareness, right? Now, of course, even casual holders know about the Glacier drop and likely about Midnight's bigger vision. Now, I can't wrap up this video without mentioning the human side, because privacy does indeed matter, right? Maybe you're a developer negotiating, proprietary deals maybe. And maybe you're just, tired of every wallet address screaming your net worth, right? Midnight's approach could let you transact like it's 1995, except with blockchain security and without needing 10 burner accounts. And of course, because dust is non-transferable, regulators get a built-in breadcrumb trail to ensure that no one launders funds through privacy sludge. It's a delicate balancing act, right? But if you pull it off, it becomes a template for other chains to copy and potentially learn from. And so here's what I'm doing, right? I'm keeping my wallets active across the chains, right? Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, even the dusty old Solana Phantom wallet from 2021, right? Just in case the snapshot includes usage metrics. I'm following official midnight channels, not random influencers or KOLs, if you will. And of course, I'm hanging out in our crypto Discord server, swapping theories, comparing bridge architectures, and of course, plotting how to use those night votes to push developer-friendly fee models, right? Trust me, you're going to want those chats. The link is in the description below. Join the free crypto Discord. All right then, deep breath. Let's land the plane. Right? The Midnight Glacier drop is more than just an airdrop. It's a social experiment in cross-chain unity and a statement that privacy shouldn't be exclusive to shadowy coders. It rewards real users, it snubs the VC elite, and might just kind of coax rival communities into one giant group hug. Awkward, but well overdue. And whether you hold ADA, Bitcoin, or a meme coin named after some cartoon frog, 2025 could drop a little night and dust into your life. The question is, will you use them to shape a multi-chain future, or just dump them on the kind of market and scroll on?